Make sure that he's always a 3/3 or bigger with Volt Charge.
Yeah.
Dude, that's gotta be such just a brutal opening, where you go turn 1 Stormkirk Noble, turn 2 Stormblood Berserker, turn 3
Turn
Volt
3
Charge.
Volt Charge you. Attack for 7.
So that's what we have on the left, and then on the right, Chris Adajar playing an unorthodox blue-white blade strategy.
Wow, Delver of Secrets.
Absolutely, he's got Mirror Crusader, Delver of Secrets. This is kind of a wow, and like Midnight Haunting is not unusual, but having Vapor Snags, lots of dismembers and Vapor Snags. This is a very unusual blue-white blade build, but kind of excited to see it in action.
Now, interestingly enough, Delver of Secrets is a human.
Yep.
Even when it flips, it's still a Jeff Goldblum.
It's so interesting that how often that evasion actually comes up in Constructed, you know?
Snapcaster Mage.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Now Fiend Hunter.
So, historically, I think I like Shahar by a little bit game 1, especially
With the turn 2 Shrine, I think it's...
like the
It's
way in
almost
turn
it.
1 Noble is so powerful, you know. But
Actually, every single one of Chris's non-Midnight Haunting guys is a human.
yeah, so I mean, pretty much obviously the texture of the matchup's going to change once Timely Reinforcements, Flash Freeze, and Batterskull all get side ordered in.
And Timely Reinforcements is soldiers, not human soldiers, correct?
That's correct, because it
Okay.
doesn't make your champion DI, I don't think. Like, you know,
That'd be pretty brutal.
So, from the looks of it, Shahar has all the tools that he needs. He's got a fistful, he's got a good mix of land and spells. He's got his Berserker and Shrine, which are arguably the 2 best cards in his deck, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Koth, I guess, is the other one, but... So interesting to see the format go from Koth to Hero, and now back to Koth, you know? There's that Volt Charge we talked about.
Yeah, and before damage, he's going to use that Volt
A lot
Charge.
of value.
And that's going to make this Shrine bigger, and that's going to... I got bigger too, so...
And that's 1 extra damage from the Shrine, 1 extra damage from the Stormkirk Noble, so it's like he already got his 5 damage from Brimstone Valley.
Yeah.
In the best case scenario for Brimstone Valley, and his Berserker's bigger for next turn. That's just awesome.
And he got to split it up. He got to use it as a removal spell on his opponent's guy.
Yeah, 3, 2, yeah, and plus his guy.
That's a
bigger.
nice arc trail. A 3/2 arc trail.
And a permanent counter on his own guy.
That damage can add up.
So what does Chris need to do to turn this around? I mean, obviously his creatures are very poorly equipped for red matchups.
Yeah, I mean, a Vapor Snag would be pretty good right here.
Just to buy himself some time?
Yeah, but the thing is that he needs to be able to, like, Vapor Snag this guy, which is just a 1-drop.
Or dismember it.
Replayed. I mean, then he's still in a world of trouble because his opponent just untaps and coughs him, right?
This is... I don't think you can worry about those sorts of things right now. Like, he doesn't have the luxury. I mean, this definitely seems like a pretty awful game 1 for Chris. Mirror Crusaders and Delvers of Secrets are not the way you beat the guy with Incinerate and Arc Trail and Volt Charge. And is that Koth?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I think he's even got a Volt Charge in his hand to do it again. This is just brutal. This is like... I mean, this is a great matchup for Shahar anyway, and this is definitely the way his deck comes out, firing on all cylinders. P. Sully would be proud. Now, both of these players are 2-0 at this point, right?
Yes.
Shahar has had a little bit of success in the SCG Open Series before, previously, has he not?
I
don't recall which event.
I'm not 100% positive, but the name does sound familiar.
Yeah, he does have. Yeah, we just got this. He does have an SCG top 8.
Okay, now Chris is definitely just going to get the value out of his sword here.
He's not afraid of gut shot. You can't be at this point, right? Like, you don't have that luxury.
Yeah, you just don't have the luxury at all.
Oh, I love it. He even gets the extra mana from the Ponder. And we're going to shuffle. Desperate times.
Now he's going to have to hit his opponent if he wants to untap the land with the sword, and if he hits his opponent, that means that next turn Shahar is going to Volt Charge him and Ultimate Cop.
Yeah, but I don't think he can play around another Volt Charge. Like, he's definitely just got to...
Yeah, and I mean, he might not even ultimate the Koth because he's going to just die to the land, the mountain.
This is... And it's tough because Chris doesn't have any Planeswalkers. He can't just drop like an Elspeth or a Gideon or whatever. Like, he's literally just 1/1s and some counter magic. Like, his deck seems like it would be, you know, a real pain if you were playing a Wolf Run deck. But it is not equipped game 1 for Mono Red. Now, it's going to be interesting. What all do you think we're going to see? Because I'm pretty sure this one is just a blowout. What are we going to see after sideboarding from Chris?
He's going to bring in Timely Reinforcements and sort of Worm Piece. And probably
so Worm Piece also, that's
Batter
5.
Skulls.
That's 7. Flash Freezes too, right? Why not? It's a hard counter.
Yeah, I mean...
It's better than Mana Leak, right?
It's got to be better than Dismember, too.
Well, see, I don't know. I've heard that Dismember is actually good against the red decks. You don't love it, but you really do need to kill their 1-drop. And,
See, I always thought that Dismember was... You'd keep it in against the red decks if you were really weak to Hero of Bladehold. Okay, so... There we go. It's Shahar's turn here. Shahar's probably just going to win this turn. Am I correct?
I mean, he's threatening lethal 3 different ways.
Yes.
He has a Fistful of Burn, he has Koth threatening ultimate because of the Volt Charge, he has a Shrine of Burning Rage.
Which is going to be lethal after this hit.
There's a lot of really bad things happening right now for Chris. Moorland Haunt making a
Moorland
token.
Haunt's going to make a guy. And,
Now he does have Nexus and Haunt tokens, so I mean those are all more non-humans. But so now this is just brutal. Now he gets to threaten to ultimate Koth also and kill the blocker. And so even if Chris activates the Nexus to chump, he's facing down Koth's ultimate and a lethal Shrine.
yes. Just about it.
Now what does Shahar have in his sideboard?
He has Mana Barbs, Volshock Refugee, Dismember, Traitorous Blood, Hero of Oxid Ridge, and Manic Vandal. So, I'm assuming he's going to bring in the Hero of Oxid Ridges. His opponent's playing white. He's probably going to expect some Timely Reinforcements post-board.
And Midnight Haunting. I mean, he doesn't know it necessarily, but there has been a recent upsurge of blue-white, you know, of Delver of Secrets decks using Midnight Haunting.
He did not ultimate the Cuff.
He just untaps the land so that he can kill with Shrine. I guess he doesn't kill, he just threatens to put Chris at 1. But I guess why not play around Divine Offering at this point? And it packs it in.
Chris has a pretty sweet hat. I would wear that hat. Now,
Hero of Oxid Ridge.
I think Dismember comes in.
Does it? Like, you don't want to kill a Delver of Secrets with it. I mean, you've got all this burn.
Yeah, I guess
And
you're
it's
right.
no good
Maybe
against
doesn't
Mirror
win.
Crusader. He doesn't know about Mirror Crusader yet, obviously, but he's going to anticipate Snapcaster Mage, Midnight Haunting, and Mirror. You know, all those are like those are the wrong ways. Burn is how you want to kill those people.
I think, I mean, he has the Arc Trails are pretty good too.
Yeah,
Fighting
absolutely.
The Midnight Hauntings. and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like that.
for sure. Arc Trail is crucial. Question is, does he bring in Manic Vandal? He doesn't know about Batterskull. He knows obviously that sort of War and Peace exists, but do you really want to slow your deck down to bring in the Grey Ogre?
I think you do. I think he will.
He doesn't know about Sword of War and Peace either. There's Sword of
Right,
War and
he doesn't
Peace
know about
and
that.
Batterskull coming in.
But the thing is like if the Manic Vandals are in his board, I'm pretty sure they're coming in against blue-white decks.
Is that what they're for? Is the equipment?
They've got to be for that and like
I figure
Tezzeret decks.
I figure the Infect is probably the biggest place where you want them is the.
It's pretty interesting because Lash Wraith
Yes,
is
it does
often
have
just
haste.
lethal off the bat. The whole artifact removal plan is like, it's pretty awesome when you tap out and Lash Wraith to either half your opponent or make them discard their hand and half them, and then your opponent has to tap out to deal with the Lash Wraith, and then you get to do something else.
And so our fact checking, which apparently we have the fact checkers that Fox doesn't have. Our fact checking system says Shahar did not top 8 in SCG Open. He finished top 50 at Pro Tour Paris. He finished 38th at Paris this year. And as we know, Pro Tour Paris was the most skill testing and the best tournament format of all time. And then anybody who did well in that tournament is certainly an extremely talented and attractive, just all-around great person. Don't you agree?
100%.
I like to hear it.
Earlier today, we covered a match from the champion of that Pro Tour.
Yeah, just 2 rounds.
Mr. Ben Stark.
Absolutely, yeah. A very good example. Yeah.
There was Tezzeret, who's also a deck at that Pro Tour.
Yeah, but
did okay.
Yeah, the main thing though was like Cawblade and all the other decks that play Jace the Mind Sculptor. Those were the really cool people. So now we're gonna see Chris on the play this time. What's he looking to do? Because he's got a lot of tempo. He's got a lot of permission, a lot of stuff that's designed to stick down a fast clock and protect it. With a all of his guys are just awful against direct damage. And this is. I still think, even with Batter Skulls, Sword of Worn Pieces, and Timely Reinforcements and Flash Phrases, he's boarding in 2/3 of his sideboard. I still think it's going to be pretty bad. I mean, he might get one, but I think he's a pretty big dog in the matchup. Even just each game, I think he's a dog.
I mean, game 1 is obviously just abysmal.
Game 1 is brutal.
One's really hard.
He does have good mana, so if he can just find, he can try to set up this play where.
I mean, it could be worse, right? He could be the combi of Crescent Moon deck.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's not unwinnable.
I mean, Timely Reinforcements is a very powerful card that can win.
It's huge. It can just.
And it's very clear. Sometimes Sword of Worn Peace. Sword of Worn Peace just sitting in play is a very powerful threat because if he ever gets to successfully equip it to anything, and he's got flash creatures like Midnight Haunting and Snapcaster Mage, as well as Moorland Haunt and Inkamoth Nexus' ability to produce creatures at unexpected moments,
Yeah, so, I mean, he does have a lot of game here.
Yeah.
And especially on the play. On the play, he might even be slightly favored.
He definitely might be. I don't know that he is, but he's. We'll see.
I think it's close.
We might be underestimating how good these Timely Reinforcements and Batter Skulls are for him, because those are traditionally some cards that are very brutal against red.
I'm also interested in the fact that he has 3 Timelies and 2 Batter Skulls,
and 2 swords.
And 2 swords. We want a different mix,
You like 4 Timely?
4 Timely.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what you're doing it for. Maybe the Batter Skull's also partly for a different matchup, and so he wanted to have 2 Batter Skulls for that matchup for whatever reason, whereas Timely's only for this one. I don't know. It might also be because of his number of 3-drops. He's going to have Sword of Worn Pieces and Timely Reinforcements and Midnight Hauntings, and presumably he's taking out Mirror Crusader, which is just, I think Conley Woods is the only person who
has ever left Mirror Crusader in against a red deck.
He would board more in.
In Pittsburgh? I heard about this. Yes.
Conley Woods, also very, very good deck builder.
Very good deck builder.
Great personality, very snazzy dresser. Loves Mirror Crusader against mono red.
He historically does not do exceptionally well against mono red decks. Conley Woods.
Well,
he likes to have Ravnica lands in play untapped. He likes to.
Are you talking about lands that you have to crack, sack, fetch, Conley Woods to get?
Take 2.
Take 2, Conley Woods.
Conley played Swathstorm at the most recent Pro Tour.
He did very well, actually, right?
He did exceptionally well.
Did he top 16, top 32, something like that? Yeah, he's definitely...
He came up to me the night before the Pro Tour, and I had been championing that deck a lot on Facebook. I had talked about it a lot and posted my deck list pretty often, and he apparently had seen that, and then he changed the deck around, and he definitely made the deck much better. He had a lot of testing under his belt, and he did really well.
Yeah, Conley is one of his great strengths is that he's exceptional at he's very open-minded and can take, he looks around and sees the information. Sees the information from a lot of different sources, and he's got a very good filter for, maybe filter's the wrong word, because he doesn't really filter that way. It's more of he's got a very good radar for when he sees something that he thinks there might be some value there for him to latch onto and to use to make his ideas even better,
Strong deck builder.
Yeah, didn't he build the variant of Callblade that a lot of the channel guys used at Pittsburgh just before the Pro Tour?
He may have.
Now, not the version that like Yuya played, that Yuya actually won with, but like the version that like LSV and Owen and all them played, you know?
Yuya's version was the best for that tournament.
Dude, I can't believe Yuya played so good against me.
He does that, man.
Dude, Yuya's a monster.
You know, there was a time once where I thought I was going to be Rookie of the Year of the Pro Tour, and then Yuya Watanabe stole that dream from me.
So, Chris leading off with Delver of Secrets. See if he gets the quick flip for the aggressive start. He does not, although it is a Sword of War piece.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. How's he doing on mana?
I think he has another Seachrome Coast.
Now is that... Can we...
And that's a Spike Shot Elder.
Chris mulled a 5 though. Yeah, he's only got one land. And this is gonna be brutal. Spike Shot Elder is completely unbeatable anyway.
Yes.
Like it's just 3 mana, kill your guy. Like, yeah, this is actually a wrap, unfortunately. Sadly, the double mulligan, facing down a great draw by Shahar in a matchup that is unwinnable. Buying himself some time.
Oh man, that's actually going to increase Shahar's clock because now Shahar's gonna play another shrine and then replay the thing, get 2 points out of it.
That's funny. But he needs to do it because his theory is hopefully Shahar has nothing and he can get his Delver to flip next turn and it can live through the Spike Shot Elder and he can just... I mean, it's the right play.
Oh, it's certainly the right play.
Chandra's Phoenix comes down anyway. Why not? Delver continuing the Merfolk of the Pearl Trident beats. Although Merfolk of the Pearl Trident has the special ability of being able to block the Stromkirk Noble, which Delver does not. Shahar swinging again.
Work for the Pearl Trident. One of the few vanilla 1/1s that has seen high-level tournament play in the past.
Yeah, 1/1s for one. Dude, I can't believe Paul Sly played Dwarven Trader. It blew my mind that he didn't play Dwarven Pony. His deck has cards in it that would punish you for having dwarves. Like he's got the Goblins of the Flarg. If you control any dwarves, Dwarven Pony was such a better 1-drop. Anyway,
all right, so Shahar is using his Spike Shot Elder to kill that Delver of Secrets.
So, let's imagine that Chris plays a land and a Timely Reinforcements next turn. What are the next sequence of cards that he has to have? Let's assume that he just has the Timely in his hand. Playing the Snapcaster to eat 3 mana. It's a tough way to have to do things.
It's fun asking the tapped one or the untapped one.
So Timely Reinforcements is definitely the only card that will buy him any more time, right? Like, I mean, I guess he's got a fair amount of life. He's not at 15 though, right?
I don't think so. He's got to be at 12 after that last attack. Yeah. He just took 3.
Besides, I figure he's got to make sure like his only play is for... Wow, so he keeps. The top of his deck can beat the board. Allegedly. I hope it does. That would be awesome if the top of his deck can actually beat the board. Like even if Shahar does nothing else, it would be a very impressive top of the deck to be able to beat this. That's one of the things a lot of people don't realize with Ponder. If you look at the top of your deck, and it's a bunch of really good cards and like a good mix, if it doesn't beat the board, you can't keep it even though they're really good. Yeah. Like even if you're only giving yourself a 1 in 1,000 shot by shuffling, you gotta shuffle if you can't beat the board. You
just gotta do it.
Sadly, Shahar has 5 spells in his hand instead of 0. So we're looking at what is probably a lost cause.
All right. Now,
Keeping the man open. Figuring
goes
the
down to
worst thing that
8.
could happen is getting that shrine divine offerings. That would just be embarrassing.
That would be embarrassing.
And Chris, sadly, at the exact same life total as Shahar because of that dismember, meaning that not even timely reinforcements is an option.
Well played by Shahar.
Yeah.
Letting those, he could have arc trailed and killed both Snapcaster mages, things like plays like that. And he wanted to take the beats, and
I thought it was amazing that Chris was still attacking. But you have to stay home and just do absolutely anything you can to prevent even a single point of damage. Alright. Now, this is probably the turn where Chris packs his cards up. A lot of discipline. It's threatening Midnight Haunting to live through the turn, but the weird thing is that Grim Lavamancer exists. Which is tough.
So you just tap it.
That's all she wrote.
Chris Adajar, unfortunately, facing a very difficult matchup there. Yep. I like Shahar's deck list. I think it's very good. I like that he's not playing Brimstone Volley. I think Volt